Today I'll be reviewing the SoundPeats TrueBuds True Wireless Earbuds, a $49 bud on Amazon. These are a few months old on Amazon. I think I saw them out there since maybe November or December. They've got really good basic features, and because they don't use ear tips, I'm really excited to hear the sound quality and work out with them on a long run. Hey, whether you're new to my channel or one of my regulars, thanks for watching. And hey, I've got a few new additions that I'm excited to show you in this video. In this review, I'll be doing my first ever latency test. So bear with me, I haven't perfected how I'm going to do it, but I think I've got it down okay to where I could show it. Let me know what you think in the comments. All right, in this review, I'm going to show you a quick unboxing like I always do. I'm going to cover the basic features of the buds. They may not really be in sync. I don't show you the unboxing. I'm going to go over the buds features as fast as I can. And then one of the other new features that I mentioned, on my website, you're now going to be able to go out and compare stats and ratings of all the buds I've reviewed recently. You check out the video on how to do it. It's really simple, and I think it's super cool. Okay, and after the unboxing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate microphone quality. I'm going to do that latency test, and then I'll discuss the audio quality, which I may shrink a little bit just to keep this video of a reasonable length. But be sure to stick around to the end so you can hear my recommendations for these SoundPeats TrueBuds. And let me know in the comments which buds I should review next. I got a bunch of them sitting around: Bowmaker Sci-Fi, MPOW X3, T3 Plus, and I got more on the way. So I'm excited. I hope you're excited, and let's get started. Welcome to the SoundPeats TrueBuds unboxing. The SoundPeats TrueBuds come with a decent sized case with a huge 2600 milliamps charging capability. They can charge these buds from 3.5 hours on a single charge. They can charge them like 20 more times, so you get a whopping total of 70 hours without having to charge again. The case itself is it's kind of big, but for 2600 milliamps case, it's small. It's charging via USB-C. You can kind of jam it into that 15 pocket because it's pretty slender, but I wouldn't recommend it. Just throw it in your pocket or a gym bag. These do not have active noise cancellation. These do not have aptX or CVCA noise cancellation. However, when we see in the microphone quality, I think the microphones actually work pretty well. The touch controls are bigger than just that round portion on the top of the bud that you see. They actually extend down the stem quite a ways, so they're really easy to use while running or just in general use. They're totally touch controls. The Bluetooth range is pretty good at 78 feet. They work in mono mode on either bud, and these Bluetooths, their connection is very fast. You pull that out of the case, it connects really fast and accurately. I'm using these in my office for phone calls because they just connect fast and they just work. I don't know if they would work in a super loud environment as well, but for an office setting, they work great. They are multi-device capable, not multi-point, but they can connect to more than one device at a time. They're IPX4 rated, so you can use them for working out and sweating, but that remains to be seen. That's not quite IPX5, or certainly not 7 or 8. So the SoundPeats TrueBuds sound really, really good. And surprisingly, they do have bass. Now, there's not sub-bass, that 20 hertz to 80 hertz really low rumble. And bass really isn't their prominent sound attribute. It's more like the mids and highs where they really sparkle. And because they don't have ear tips, there's like no occlusion at all. When you're walking or running, you can set these to a really low volume level, like 25% for listening to music, and as low as 40% while running. And you can still hear them really well. They're really clear. And you get full awareness of traffic and pedestrians while you're running. So for all the listening tests that I'm going to talk about now, I really was listening at like 25 to 50%. Maybe I went up a little bit, but I never even came close to listening to these buds at 100% volume. The mids and highs are just too crisp. I'm not going to say they're harsh. They're just super crisp, and the volume feels really loud when you crank these up. So I didn't do it. Now, similar to my review of the SoundPeats True Wings, I think these TrueBuds sound fantastic listening to Lost Without You by Freya Reddings. From 50 seconds to a minute and 25, you got to listen to not just the piano notes, but again, like the sound of the piano keys and her voice. It's just large and it's up in front. And then you can almost pinpoint the location of any keyboard key in the piano, except for the chords. Of course, that's a little bit tougher, but especially at like 1 minute and 13 seconds, you just totally feel that key out to the far right. And then when the lower register kicks in at 126, you really don't get a ton of impact with these buds. So what I think when I listen to these buds, what they make me want to listen to
is I just want to listen to music without cranking it up, and they make me want to listen to things like bands. And in my case, I was thinking like a rock band, like Led Zeppelin. I want to get the lead out. I went backwards. You'd pick a song, Cashmere, A Whole Lot of Love, Black Dog, list goes on and on and on. But I wanted to pick a YouTube song so you can kind of go and you can look at the what's playing on stage and what I'm talking about in the sound stage in my head. It's Stairway to Heaven, Live Earl's Court, 1975. Back in time. If you listen and you watch the whole song, it's really like a slow boil, but I think it sounds good on these buds. But if you roll forward to 410 and you listen and you position the vocals, the guitar, the drums, the keyboard, and besides the mastery of this rock band, which I think is probably, it's not my favorite of all time, but I think it's probably the greatest of all time in my opinion. These buds are a really good match for this kind of music because they give you that full, super full sound stage, and you don't need to crank it up to enjoy it. Okay, now fast forward 40 years to Evanescence Bring Me to Life, and listen to Evanescence here Bring Me to Life from 40 seconds to 105, at least. And listen to the clarity of Amy Lee's voice and the drop at 53. It's just a really solid experience in the TrueBuds. Now, I'm saying all that like the clarity of the voices is really great and all that, but there is bass. If you listen to something like Trick Daddy's I'm a Thug, there is bass, but to me, it's just not their Buds forte. The way that they sit in your ears is just not a seal. They're just not going to develop and produce a ton of bass. Now, last thing about the Buds, for video watching, they have support for AAC and SBC codecs, and in my experience, there was a slight acceptable lag on Android while watching videos, but now let's do a latency test and see exactly what that lag is.
Welcome to my first ever latency test. So we're going to be testing Bluetooth latency on the SoundPeats TrueBuds. So we've never done this before, so we're not going to have a really good point of reference. Probably have to look it up online, like how long is an acceptable delay. So every second, this is throwing out a tone that's coming through this earbud. We're supposed to hear it exactly on the center point there. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this bud against my microphone. I'm going to keep talking. We just need to get 4 or 5 of these. I'll try to do a super slow-mo so we can figure out exactly the latency. That should do it. This is a simultaneous recording of the SoundPeats TrueBuds with my home office Pixel 2 microphone. This is a test of the SoundPeats TrueBuds with no background noise. This is a simultaneous recording of my Pixel 2 home microphone along with the SoundPeats TrueBuds microphones with 70 decibels of background noise. This is a simultaneous recording of my Pixel 2 home microphone along with the SoundPeats TrueBuds microphones with 70 decibels of background noise.
So it's looking like a pretty slow day in the neighborhood. That guy was flying. I hope I caught him on this because he was freaking flying and I could hear him coming a mile away. So this is a simultaneous recording. I got, like a really slight breeze. You can kind of see it in the trees. It's getting a little bit late. There's not a lot of cars out here. It's Memorial Day weekend. So it's looking like a pretty slow day in the neighborhood. That guy was flying. I hope I caught him on this because he was freaking flying and I could hear him coming a mile away. So this is a simultaneous recording. I got, like a really slight breeze. You can kind of see it in the trees. It's getting a little bit late. There's not a lot of cars out here. It's Memorial Day weekend. And I got the SoundPeats TrueBuds on, which I've been making phone calls with all day long. My mom, my kid, just everybody I could think of. It's kind of a day. I made a lot of phone calls, and nobody complained. My 92-year-old mom heard me just fine. And let's see, I think I've had 3 or 4 cars go by. And facing this car, she's doing something. I got rabbits around me. It's like crazy. Okay, last car, and then we're gonna shut down the test. Here we go. That is some kind of a Subaru. I don't know what it is. I guess it's an Impreza. So that's it. This is the I don't think this is a very strenuous test, but this is the SoundPeats TrueBuds, which again, I mean, this is a very unique shaped bud with huge drivers. It takes a lot of getting used to just wear these and know that they're sitting in your ears right. And there's a very interesting amount of volume. There we go, there you go. That guy's flying in his Audi S3. That was pretty nice, and he was moving. So that was a lot of sound coming from that car. I'm shutting it down.
So the shortcomings of these buds are, look, the battery life is only 3.5 hours per charge. It doesn't seem like a lot. The triple tap to bring up the Google Assistant should make some kind of a sound, sort of an audible tone that, you know, the assistant's ready to go or that the command was registered. I kind of just start talking as soon as I triple tap, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Overall, I'd like to have these pump out just a little bit more bass relative to the mids and the highs, or maybe they should include some ear tips with them so that I can, you know, put those on when I need to get that bass for those moments. And then what are my recommended uses? Well, I think these are a really great bud for having at your desk. I'm leaving them at my desk. I pick them up. They connect super fast Bluetooth and I can talk on the phone and no one's complaining. I think if you're into listening to music, if you're into working out, and definitely if you're a runner who awareness is really important to, these are a good bud for you. On top of that, the sound quality is really good, and so is the mic quality from what I could hear and what I've experienced in using it. So I wouldn't say that they're perfect, but if what you're looking for overlaps what I'm talking about in this video as their strengths, this is a really good pair of buds to own. And that's it, folks. That's my review of the SoundPeats TrueBuds. Thanks for watching, and click that subscribe button. Oh, and let me know what you think of the TrueBuds, this review, and my new latency test in the comments. As always, stay safe, everyone. So Zen out.